girl is jail. And not only did you off all of these people, you guys were partaking in cannibalism. You also keep attacking every CO you come in contact with. You spit on people. You attack your psychiatrist. Maybe your treatment might be a little bit better if you weren't just girl, if you weren't being so violent, like maybe your treatment would be better. Elena's coaching him through, like, it's completely normal you weren't ready to sit here and chop off his neck yet. Like, I remember my first kill, and I'm just like, what is going on? All right, you guys, I am back with another book review. As you see, this book is by Christian Birch, okay? And it is called Closing Time, an extreme horror novel. This is the 5th book in this series that I have been reading. I absolutely love this series at this point. I have fallen in love with these books. I've fallen in love with these characters. Elena showed her behind in the last book. If you have not already read these books, you might not even want to be this far into the book review, okay? Because either you need to go back and watch the first, second, and third, and fourth at this point book review, or at least read the book, because by now I'm dropping spoilers and I'm just dropping everything that I've already read and seen. So maybe you need to hit the save for later button on this video so that you can catch up. I don't know, but I'm getting ready to drop some spoilers. Y'all, now I need somebody to confirm for me, did Elena really off Chase's parents? Was there a part of the book where I skipped when she was like drugging them or something? What happened? She specifically told Henry that she was going to let him go. So how did the cleaning service person get there and realize that there is a dead couple in the bed? I could not believe it. I'm like, girl, you specifically said you were going to let them go. And it broke my heart because Chase really had that thought of, should I at least try to pull the blanket up on my mom? Like, her neck is like in an uncomfortable position. But at the same time, he's like, I don't want to wake them up. Can you imagine if Chase had have went and actually tried to reposition his mother and had have felt that cold room temperature feel to her skin? That would have derailed everything. I can't even imagine how that would have played out. I feel like it would have went nuts. At this point, Chase is not only full on the run with Elena, he also was to the point where he's telling her, like, listen, I want to get as good as offing people as you are. Like, I want to learn the technique, I want to learn the procedure, I want to learn, this and that. And there's even parts where Elena's coaching him through, like, it's completely normal you weren't ready to sit here and chop off his neck yet. Like, I remember my first kill, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, this is absolutely crazy. This is crazy. The detectives are so close to catching her. They got like this close 2 different times. Like, Elena even manages to off one of their police officers that's supposed to be on patrol. Like, I even still was like, boy, if you don't get your head out of the magazine and pay attention to who's driving on the road, he would have saw her in advance. Elena and Chase were even sleeping in the car at one point at one of these little truck stops or pit stops, and there were 2 police officers that pulled up then, and they didn't even. And again, police officers don't just walk up on cars and, oh, the car window's open, let me go check inside. But if they had of, they would have saw Chase and Elena there. There are some scenes with Chase and Elena getting intimate at this point. Elena done turned the young boy Chase out. She done put some voodoo on that young man, because Chase is just down for whatever it is that Elena wants to do. You're also seeing parts in this book of Elena actually going into the facility with Dr. Jensen. And we still have not fully seen the full development of his character. I have no clue what it is that he's going to do. I feel like this man is going to be shady as hell. Like, I feel like at this point, he has propositioned himself as someone that has similar interests to Elena, which kind of makes me wonder why she even is trusting him. Because my thought process is it that he wants her to teach him how to like hunt people or how to off people, whatever. He's just been obsessed with Elena for years. Like, he's been following her since she basically escaped the restaurant. Like, even when she was on the run, he was following along with her story. He is thoroughly obsessed with her, and I am just thrown because there's obviously an age gap, but I'm just wondering what has him so captivated by her, I guess. I also want to know why she feels the need to trust him. I understand that the circumstances and the surroundings of the jail that she's at now is lackluster and she doesn't like it. At the same time, girl, is jail. And not only did you off all of these people, you guys were partaking in cannibalism. You also keep attacking every CO you come in contact with. You spit on people. You attack your psychiatrist. Maybe your treatment might be a little bit better if you weren't just girl, if you weren't being so violent. Like, maybe your treatment would be better. I don't know. It's like she's trying to pick which devil does she want to deal with? The facility she's already at or Dr. Jensen? Dr. Jensen is a nut. He manages at this point, you guys already saw in book 4 if you read it, he manages to persuade the warden to let Elena come to his facility. And I don't feel like the warden put up enough of a fight. Like, I feel like the warden was kind of at the point of like, you know what? Let's give it a try. Nothing else has been successful, but let's give it a try. It just was interesting because I'm sitting here wondering, like, will the warden get some kind of kickback if he does like reform or rehabilitate Elena? Like, how is that going to go? There is a part where Dr. Jensen finally gets her out of this facility, and on the way he's like, well, what have you been craving? And Elena gives him this look, and he's very, very cognizant of the fact that she's hinting at she's craving like human flesh. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll help you get that too, but like something more accessible. What are you looking for? And I'm just like, this book and this series is absolutely nuts. This whole thing has been crazy. They go to this restaurant, and my first thought process was, if she was on the national like most wanted, we're looking for this young lady because she was involved in X, Y, and Z. I was like, how the hell is no one at this restaurant alerted of her being there? There's no way that no one recognizes her. Like, they have to recognize her. And sure as SHIT, there's a young family that's there, and they're like pointing and looking, and Elena, she's just kind of like, what the heck is Elena is just kind of like, yeah, they're definitely looking at us. Dr. Jensen's security alerts him and tells him like, listen, I think it's time for us to hit the road, whatever. Dr. Jensen is a creep in a different way. I zoomed through this book. I believe it was either last night or the night before. I zoomed through it, and I just knew I was going to Amazon to go read part 6, right? You guys, part 6 is not coming out until March of 2024. And I understand that you guys are probably seeing this book review in March already. You guys, I am in January. It is January 15th. It is Martin Luther King Day. I was ready to cry. I was ready to cry last night when I saw it. The reader in me was like, oh my God, like, Christian Birch, like, where is part 6? And I even became like a super, let me go and see when book 1 was dropped so I can have an idea of this and that. And I saw that book 1 was dropped in 2016. So the reader in me was like, oh my God, it's been almost 8 years. How come the series isn't complete? But then the author in me was like, I understand life happens. I understand that life happens. And I understand that as authors and writers, we don't always drop content as much as we would if we were living in a perfect world and in a perfect place. So I give Mr. Birch all the grace in the world on that. When March comes, best believe that I will be reading the book. But I swear to you, this better be the final installment. I can't wait until next year for another book. He needs to finish it off and finish it off right now. I need to read part 6. I can't take it anymore. I'm so excited. If you have not already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I am coming with book reviews. I am really reviewing books that are by authors that either they're newer in the game or maybe they're not, maybe, okay. I'm trying to find a way to word this without anyone getting offended, but at this point, people get offended if they want to. I do not want to read books by a J.K. Rowling. I don't want to read books by Ellen Hopkins is my girl, but I don't want to read books by Ellen Hopkins. I don't want to read books by authors that are so Stephen King, so widely recognized that when you see the name, you're like, oh, okay, Stephen King dropped another book, or oh, okay, so and so. I want to read books by authors that you're like, well, who is that? Well, what do they write? What kind of books? That is the kind of books I want to read this year. I am super excited. I'm even going to start these little reading journeys at this point where I'm reading books that are solely focused on, the location of Memphis, Tennessee, but urban fiction. I want to read books that are solely focused on the location being New York. I'm just excited to try new things, and I believe I'm going to start a whole playlist of those books specifically. I just want to go wild with this book reading journey. I want to go wild with it. I have so many books lined up for myself for pre-order at this point. I'm even wearing my books on my shirts at this point. You guys have to be proud of me, okay? Like, Don't Look Away should be dropping soon. You Thought You Changed That Bleep dropped in February already. I am excited, and all of my books are available on Amazon and Kindle for 99 cents. You can't beat it, you guys. So thank you so much for following me at this point. Thank you for all of the support, love, and affection, and I will see you in the next book review. Bye.